Hey guys, Christian14677Y6 here, and today I will be reviewing the iPod Touch 6th generation, or iPod Touch 6, or whatever you'd like to call it, in 2020. So yeah, here it is, guys. This is the product red version, but there are like 5 different colors, something. I don't really care, so the point is, I'll just be seeing what it's like in 2020. So, first, we'll be starting off with the size and weight. The height is only about it's only like a 4-inch Retina display. Actually, it's still like pretty decent actually, because like I'm one of those, like some people prefer like bigger like smartphone screens and like tablet screens, like device screens in general. Whereas others, like some people prefer small ones. This is only like a 4-inch, so actually pretty good size and everything. And yeah, it doesn't actually weigh much. It's really light actually to hold in the hand. It's pretty light. And yeah, okay, now yeah. Okay, yeah, so anyways, so then we'll be going on to the chip, to the CPU, and we'll be going on to tech specs and all that stuff, okay, so this runs for a CPU. It has an A8 chip, which is actually the same chip with the iPhone, that's in the iPhone 6, except slightly underclocked and everything, with 64-bit architecture. This means it is, it can run iOS 12, but not 13, so it's stuck on iOS 12. And it has an M8 motion coprocessor, which is that thing in health that you use for like your health app, your health tracking app. And yeah. And the clock speed is only 1.10 gigahertz. So I mean, it's not like that. It's not that good anymore. So and it only has 1 gig of RAM, which means it can feel a little slow sometimes on iOS 12, but at least it's not as bad as the iPod Touch 5 was on iOS 9, unlike the other devices that got killed by iOS 9 and everything. And yeah, so now we'll be going on the camera. So this has an 8-megapixel camera, I wouldn't really, it says it has autofocus technically, but I wouldn't really call it autofocus, because you kind of have to tap to focus all the time. It doesn't really, it's kind of like, doesn't really automatically focus. And its back camera is 8 megapixels right here. I'll show you some photos later for you guys to judge for yourself. And yeah, I mean, 8 megapixels, I mean, that actually used to be decent back in like 2015 when this first came out, because like we're 5 years down the road now. We're like 5 years, it's 2020 now, so this came out in 2015. 8 megapixel rear sensor is actually not bad. But like nowadays, I mean, I guess it's good for like the average user, but if you really want to use it as your main driver and take like pretty good photos, you should not use this, because the photos are like kind of like, even for the back camera, they're like they can be kind of blurry and like edgy sometimes, like they can be slightly pixelated sometimes. But anyways, later on I'll put up some photos for you guys to judge for yourself anyways. And yeah. Yeah. And also guys, let me just say this though. Oh yeah, I also forgot that oh my god. So with the 8 megapixels camera, it can record 1080p at 30 frames per second, which is, I guess it's yeah, it was decent for 2015, but now it's starting to feel a little out of place. But like I mean, I guess it's good for like average video recording, like this kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want to use it like a main driver for like really good stuff, you probably shouldn't use it anyways. But yeah. But like, let me just say something though. The selfie camera on this thing though is actually pretty bad though. Like, it's horrible. Like literally, it's 1.2 megapixels and it takes really grainy, bad looking selfies. And yeah, I guess it's decent FaceTime. But if you're a person who really cares about selfies, which is not me, by the way, you shouldn't use a selfie device. It's only 1.2 megapixels, and the selfies are really bad and sucky, because they're all, like, sometimes they're blurred and, like, pixelated and crusty, blah, 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 yeah. So anyways, we're off that, and, never mind, and, yeah. So the selfie camera records 720p video at 30 frames per second, which, yeah, whatever. So anyways, okay, now we'll be going on to power and battery, okay? So, guys, let me just say something. This battery in 2020 is absolutely horrible, okay? Like, you'd actually be lucky to get like at least 2 hours or more to just on a single charge from this thing. On a single charge from this thing. So like to be fair though, to begin with, the battery was only 1043 milliamp hours, which is not a big battery to begin with. Like after years of usage, years of usage and everything, like the battery really starts to wear down really quickly. I mean, it's like the thing is, the battery's like not actually that bad when you first get it. Like after like maybe like a year or two, the battery like really starts to wear down and becomes like bad. And yeah, and yeah, but at least since the battery's already really tiny in the first place, at least it charges really quickly. Like it'll be up to 100% capacity in like literally just an hour. Like it'll be up to 100% capacity from zero. So like yeah, but so anyways also another thing that's kind of annoying, but I mean I guess it's fair enough. Like it absolutely has no biometric indication. You see, it just has the plain old home button. See, no touch ID. Just a passcode. There's no touch ID. It has the regular old home button, like you see right here. Yeah, the classic home button. And guys, let me just say so, like most games, like at least this is still on iOS 12, because if it was iOS 10 or lower, it would have been kind of obsolete by now. Like the iPhone, the iPod Touch 5 is, because there's like iOS 10 or 9 or like any or like in that range, like it would actually be bad because you see, at least if it's on iOS 12, like pretty much like most apps will actually run run well on here. Will actually like run on here. Like you can get like most of the latest versions of most apps, except for like Fortnite and like pretty intense apps like that, like intense apps and games like that. Like most games also run well on here. Like basic games like I guess Minecraft and Roblox and Granny will run well on here. But yeah, they can have unexpected crashes from time to time, and they can be glitchy sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, I guess not that bad. But yeah, but yeah. But okay, guys, let me just say this though. Like there's actually a new iPod Touch 7 out. It came out last year in May 2019. The new iPod Touch 7. Let me just say though, guys, that has the A10 Fusion chip and is actually like it's actually a small but needed somewhat needed upgrade to the iPod Touch 6. And yeah, because that actually can run iOS 13 and is probably gonna be getting iOS 14 later this year. So anyways, like I was saying though, like personally, like these, like Apple does not sell them anymore. You can find them like used or refurbished off of Amazon or eBay or a ton of other websites. But I wouldn't really recommend that. You guys probably shouldn't get it because, like, number one, the battery life would be absolutely terrible, no good, very bad, horrible, and yeah, and sucky, and yeah, you get the point, right, guys? Okay. So, anyways, anyway, but like, I mean, if you guys have like little kids, maybe maybe 8 or 7 or 8, maybe this would be good advice for them. Like, they just don't have a phone yet. But here's the thing, though, guys. You could actually get like an iPhone 7, or you could get like an iPhone 7 for like about the same amount of money. Guys, actually I'm talking about the 7th gen. Oh my god, this is confusing. So I'm talking about the 7th generation iPod Touch. You shouldn't even get that either, because you can get an iPhone 7 for about that same amount of money. You get like a used or refurbished iPhone 7 for about that same amount of money. Or you could just pick one that's locked to a specific carrier or something. But yeah, for the iPod Touch 6 though, you probably shouldn't get this. I mean, it's under $100. It's really cheap now. Like, I mean, you could just use. I guess you could just use it as like a kids thing, like for like little kids or something, like 8-7-year-old, younger than that, in that area, sort of. You could use this, and you could also use it as a music player. Actually, it probably wouldn't make that much of a bad stereo because it's not so old yet. Because if you have it in a docking station permanently, it wouldn't be so bad if you're just using it as a stereo or music player, like a GPS or like something like that. But yeah, so is it worth it worth it buying in 2020? Well, my answer is no. You should either just go for the iPod Touch 7, or you should just like get an iPhone, because they're like iPhones that are actually better than that, or actually or equal to that are like the same amount of money, if not cheaper. And yeah, so that kind of concludes. So that patch 6 is almost kind of over, but like, I mean, if you have one, you can still use it for like things like those uses I just gave. And yeah, so guys, that'll be the end of the video today. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you want to see more. And bye. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, okay, yeah, so, I mean, like, I guess Minecraft would work fine, as you can see here.
Pause screen.
Kind of just, like,
Resume. 1 of 11.
This will work fine, but like sometimes it can be like really glitchy. Sometimes like crashes like randomly sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, I guess it's decent on the iPod 6. And